Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for participating in ABRA's roll call hearings via the WebEx platform provided by the DC Office of Open Government. My name is Laverne Fletcher. I'll be conducting the roll call hearings as the board's agent. There are two cases on the calendar today. The first case on the calendar today is DC City Smokehouse. This is case number 23PRO0001, Southeast Restaurant Group LLC, 203 Florida Avenue Northwest, license number ABRA 098368. This is a retailer class CT license renewal. The protest issues are adverse impact on peace, order, and quiet, real property values, and residential parking and vehicular and pedestrian safety. My name is Laverne Fletcher, conducting the roll call hearing as the board's agent. Is anyone present on behalf of DC City Smokehouse?
I am.
If you would state your name and spell it for the record, please.
My name is Melvin Hines. Hines.
Thank you, Mr. Hines. We have a couple of protestants in this matter. Is Mr. Brown present? I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Good morning, this is Corey Brown.
Oh, Mr. Brown, could you spell your name for the record, please?
It's CORYBROWN.
Thank you. And Ms. Shoemaker? I'm sorry, Mr. Brown?
We're getting some feedback from somebody else. That wasn't me.
Okay, yeah, I heard that too. Thank you. Ms. Shoemaker, are you here?
Yes. Hi. JACQUELINESCHUMACHER. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Mr. Brown, am I pronouncing that correctly, Shoemaker?
It's Schumacher, but close enough.
Schumacher. Ms. Schumacher, you and Mr. Brown filed protests as abutting property owners, and so that's the determination that has to be made. I checked the DC Geographic Information System, and I can see that your buildings are abutting, so that I can see. What I cannot see, but you can tell me, is whether or not your units actually abut the establishment. Ms. Schumacher, you're in unit number 6. And so does that unit actually touch the establishment at any point?
Yes, ma'am, it does. The way that our building is arranged is that Unit 6 is sort of on the left top side of the building, and Corey's is on the right top side of the building, directly above the restaurant. So I'm not so familiar with the layout of the restaurant. I can't say if I'm above the kitchen or the dining area, but we're both right on top of the restaurant, side by side.
Thank you. And Mr. Brown, the same applies for your unit?
Yes, correct. Both of our units are directly above and touch the kitchen areas in the main restaurant area.
Okay, thank you. In that case, you are considered abutting property owners. Mr. Hines, still there? Mr. Hines disappeared. I'm going to give him a moment. Mr. Hines, can you hear me? Mr. Hines may be having some technical difficulties. I'm
Sorry.
not sure, but I can
There's a
see his
bad
name.
connection.
Mr. Hines, can you hear me? Ms. Brown and Ms. Schumacher are granted standing as abutting property owners.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Hines, I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Miss-
That's okay. If anything I need to tell you beyond this hearing, I will send you a,
Miss
hello?
Strand.
That's okay. Can you hear me now?
There's like every few words. Miss Fletcher, I'm sorry. I can't.
That's okay. I will send you an email following the roll call hearing to let you know what transpired, but this is what's happening. Standing is granted to Ms. Brown, Mr. Brown and Ms. Schumacher as abutting property owners. We need to schedule a date for a mediation, a status hearing, and a protest hearing. Mr. Brown and Ms. Schumacher, can you still hear me? Yeah, I think maybe,
Uno está.
okay.
Ahí
I'm
está,
going
ahí
to,
están escuchando ahorita. Bueno, me están.
so I don't know who speak, just a second.
Wait a minute.
Just
Excuse me.
a second.
Excuse me.
Just a second. Mr. Hines, can you hear me?
Now I can. I didn't hear anything that you just said, and I thought I heard my name a couple of times.
Okay, I'm gonna repeat it again. I'm gonna follow up this hearing with an email because I think there's been some disconnection in and out. What I said, Mr. Hines, is that Mr. Brown and Ms. Schumacher are granted standing as abutting property owners. We need to set a date for a mediation, a status hearing, and a protest hearing. I'm going to give you the date for the status and protest hearing first. Mr. Hines, you're going to say something?
Yeah, I just have a question. They are granted, I guess, they have authority because they are units abut my unit. However, neither one of them live in those units, so I don't know if that is a technicality. But the fact is, neither one of them have been or live in their units at this time.
They're owners of the units? It's my
I'm not
understanding.
sure what the status is.
Okay, Mr. Brown
Yes. Both
and Ms.
Jack and I,
Schumacher,
we own our units and we have tenants that live in them currently, but we still qualify as a budding property owner since I hold the deed for the property.
Correct. Same with me.
that is correct. That's the same for you, Ms. Schumacher?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And so, Mr. Hines, that answers your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm going to give you the date for the status and protest hearing first. The status hearing is scheduled for March the 8th. March the 8th, 2023 at 10:30 for the status hearing. The protest hearing is set for April the 5th, 2023 at 1:30 in the afternoon. We need to set a date for mediation to occur prior to the status hearing. I'll give you the next available date for mediation.
No, era que están en otro update.
The next available day for mediation is, let's see here, one second. Is Thursday, February 2nd, anytime between 10 and 1:30 in the afternoon. That's Thursday, February 2nd. That's the next available day that's available. Is that a good day for you, Mr. Hines?
February 2nd. Yeah, I have availability.
What about you, Mr. Brown and Ms. Schumacher?
That works for me, yes.
Do you prefer, is 10 a.m. good?
Yes, please. Earlier in the morning is better for me. Thank you.
Háblele.
That works for me as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Porque creo que no están entre ellos.
Mediation is set for Thursday, February 2 at 10 o'clock a.m. And I will send you the WebEx invitation to attend the mediation. Any questions at all?
Could you repeat? I think you mentioned a hearing on the 5th of April. Was that the date?
That's, yeah,
Ellos están.
yes, on April the 5th, 2023 at 1:30 is the protest hearing. So that's the protest. So Ms. Ramos, I'm hearing.
what time
some
was that?
background.
I'm sorry.
Just a second, just a second. Mr. Hines, just a second. Ms. Ramos, if you can hear me, please mute yourself. I'm hearing some background talking on your end.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, what were you saying, Mr. Hines?
Could you repeat the time on April 5th?
The time on April the 5th is 1:30 in the afternoon. April 5, 2023 at 1:30. That's the protest hearing.
Okay. Thank you.
If this matter can be resolved in mediation, there will not be a protest hearing. Otherwise, the protest hearing will take place on that day at that time. Any other questions, Mr. Hines?
As far as mediation, is that just the three of us? Is there someone from ABRA that's going to be present as well? How does that process work?
The board's mediator will be present. That's me.
Okay.
You, me, Mr. Brown, and Ms. Schumacher. That's it. Only the parties to the protest.
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Hines?
No, not for me. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you for coming, and I will see you on February 2nd.
All right.
The roll
Thank
call
you.
hearing in this matter is concluded. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ma'am.
You're welcome. The next case on the calendar is Bujo's Restaurant, case number 23PRO00002.
Ahí viene.
Nunez's Property Management, LLC, 3521 14th Street Northwest, license number ABRA 115711. This is a retailer class CT, substantial change for a game of skill endorsement. The protest issues in this case are adverse impact on peace, order, and quiet, and residential parking and vehicular and pedestrian safety. My name is Laverne Fletcher, conducting the roll call hearing as the board's agent. Is anyone present on behalf of the establishment?
Hi, good morning, Ms. Fletcher. This is Manal Mahmood with Malleus O'Brien Sandground.
Ahí le
That's
escucho. MALLEMAHMOUD.
Thank you. Ms. McMahon, did you say O'Brien?
With Malleus O'Brien Sandground, correct?
Can you spell Malleus O'Brien for the record?
Absolutely. MALLIOSOBRIEN and Sandground, SANDGROUND.
Thank you very much. And is there someone else present from the establishment?
Yes, Gladys Nunez representing Nunez Property Management
Could you spell your name for the record, please?
is GLADYS. Last name Nunez, NUNEZ. Z as in zebra.
That's Gladys Nunez.
Yes,
So, Ms. Nunez, let me ask you something. So, is Elvira Ramos here too, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yes,
can't tell
she
who's
is. She's
speaking
present.
today.
She's right next to me.
Okay, so Ms. Nunez. Okay, so
Yes.
I don't see your name, but I see Ms. Ramos's name, but you two are together right now.
Yes, ma'am. Mrs. Ramos to my left.
So, Ms. Ramos, would you please state your name and spell it for the record, please?
Yes. Elvira, Elvira,
Huh?
Ramos, Ramos.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There's also a group of 7 protestants. Is anyone present on behalf of the protestants?
Yes, my name is Mark Russell.
Thank you, Mr. Russell. You spell that for the record, please?
MarkRussell.
Thank you. Anyone else from the group?
Hi, my name is Jessica McClure. That's Jessica. Last name McClure.
No?
And I'm calling in. My name is Lynn Lawson, LINLAWSON.
Ms. Lawson? Anyone else?
Yes, this is Tim Brookins. Timothy, Timothy. Last name Brookins, Brookins.
That was Timothy.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Brookins.
This is Kailash Ramesh, Kylash. Last name Ramesh, Ramesh.
This RAM is in man.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. ESH, thank you.
And this is Jessica Mai, JESSICA, last name MAI.
Ms. Mai. Anyone else from the group? Thank you. And everyone present today signed the protest letter?
Yes.
Yes.
I count 6 present today, which means that the group has standing as a protestant. We need to schedule a mediation status hearing and a protest hearing. I'm going to give you the date for the status and protest hearing first. The status hearing is scheduled for March the 8th, 2023 at 10:30 a.m. That's March 8th at 10:30. The protest hearing is set for April 5, 2023 at 1:30. I will give you the next available day for mediation. The next available day is Friday, February 3, anytime between 10 and 1:30. If that's a good time for everybody. It's Friday, February 3, anytime between 10 and 1:30.
Ms. Fletcher, one question from the protestants.
And who's speaking for the court reporter?
This is Jessica Mai. I have a question on behalf of the protestants. How many people have to attend the mediation meeting?
We only need a designated representative. But if there's anyone else from your group that you would like to attend, that's fine.
This is Jessica Mai speaking. If there's no objections from the protestants for that specific date, Friday, 3 February, that works with me.
Does that work for you, Ms. McMahon?
It does, Ms. Fletcher.
What about, so Ms. Nunez, Ms. Ramos, are you coming as well? And Ms. Nunez, are you attending mediation as well?
Yes. This is Miss Nunez. Yes, we will be able to attend.
Okay, thank you. Are you available on Friday, February 3?
Yes,
What about 10 o'clock a.m.?
that's fine. Thank you.
So that's fine. That was Ms. Ramos and Ms. Nunez saying that's fine. That's just for the record. Ms. Nunez and Ms. Ramos, you were saying that's fine for mediation?
Okay, for me,
So just a second. So just a second. Before you speak, you have to say who's speaking so that the court reporter can record who's speaking.
okay, Mr. Ramos, for February 3rd, supposedly I go to my country, Salvador. I back to February 9th. I back to country.
Can you repeat that?
Okay, in February 3rd, I stay out of the country.
Okay. So I heard you, and so you won't be in the country on February 3rd.
Exactly.
So you're not required to come unless you want to, because Ms. McMaud is coming and Ms. Nunez is coming as well, and so you all can decide whether or not you want to proceed without Ms. Ramos. Ms. Nunez, I'll leave that up to
Is there
you.
a possibility, this is Mrs. Nunez, is there a possibility that Mrs. Ramos can be present at the mediation? And since she's the one running and managing the restaurant, so that we all can be on the same page?
I'll send the WebEx invitation. I can send the invitation to her. She can join. If she can join from wherever she is, that's fine.
That can be tricky because sometime when you go to third world countries, the internet is just not available. Can we reschedule the date so that everyone can be on point that same date and everyone can be present?
Okay, yeah, no, that'll be fine on this end. Let me check with Miss McMaul. You know she is representing Bujo's Restaurant.
Yes, we're fine with changing the date.
Who's speaking?
This Miss Manal Mahmood.
Okay, so Mr. Ramos, when are you returning?
February 9th.
I'm sorry, when are you returning?
The 9th of February.
The 9th of February? Okay, well, how about if we schedule mediation for February 15 at 10?
That will work for me. This is Mrs. Nunez, and that's fine with Mrs. Ramos. February 15th. I don't know about the rest.
Hey, Ms. McMaud, would that work for you?
That would work for us as well.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So mediation is set for February 15 at 10. And I just want to note for the record, Ms. Samsudin, I got your message in the chat that you are here. I'm going to spell your name for the record. Ms. Samsudin is a member of the group of 7, and she is present. Her first name appears to be Serena, spelled S as in Sam, Arinah. Last name spelled S as in Sam, Amsudin. I got your message in the chat, and I'm acknowledging your presence, which means the 7 members of the group are present today instead of 6.
Hi there, this is Mark Russell speaking. I just wanted to make sure that February 15th worked for somebody in our group as well.
Oh, yeah, of course. So the designated representative, so there are 4 representatives in your group. We only need a designated representative, but if there are any other members that you would like to attend the mediation, that's fine.
Okay, because it's I just wanted to make sure while I'm on the call that somebody else, because February 15th is going to be tricky, but if somebody else is definitely able to be there, then that would be fine. Can you name the 4 people designated, please?
Yes, according to the protest letter, that's Jessica Mai, you, Mr. Russell, Serena Samsudin, and Brandon Cypress. I'm going to spell Mr. Cypress's name for the record. The first name is spelled B as in boy, Randon. The last name is Cypress, spelled Cypress. Mr. Cypress is not present today. I'm stating his name because I mentioned his name. So, Mr. Russell, those are the designated representatives for this group.
This is Jessica Mai speaking. February 15th works for me as well in terms of attending the meeting. We'll go ahead and coordinate on our end with regard to the group of protesters to ensure that at least one of us is attending that session.
Okay, and so Ms. Mai, I'm going to send the WebEx invitation to you. You can forward it to whomever you want. Ms. McClure, it's fine if you leave. I see your message in the chat. Thank you for coming. Okay, so Ms. Mai, I'll send the WebEx invitation to you.
Perfect. Okay, great. I will do the coordinating on our end.
And Ms. Nunez.
Yes.
I'm not sure that I have your email address. We have an email address for you on the record. Just a second. I need to make sure. So I have Ms. Ramos's email address. I'm not sure about yours. Hold on a second. If I recall correctly, I sent you an email, but you didn't respond.
I didn't receive it.
Ms. Nunez, did you say you did receive it?
Didn't receive it. Did not.
Say that again.
Did not receive an email.
Okay, so if you want to receive a WebEx invitation, I can send you one, or when Ms. Ramos receives hers, she can forward you a copy of hers. Which do you prefer?
That would work. She can forward me a copy unless you want to take an email for me.
I will take an email for you just so that, just to see if it's any different from the one we already have.
Okay, is Francisco, Francisco, Nunez, the last name Nunec. That's 1214@yahoo.com. Is that what you have on file?
That's the one we have.
Great, thank you.
You're
That's my
welcome.
husband's email.
Okay, so we've got the correct one.
Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. Mediation is set for Wednesday, February 15 at 10. Any questions, anybody? Okay, well, thank you for coming. This roll call hearing is concluded. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a blessed day and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very welcome.